Hi everyone, and welcome to this Excel tutorial. Today, I'm going to show you how to create a powerful formula that generates a list of year and week numbers between two dates. This is a super handy trick for project planning, reporting, or any task that requires weekly breakdowns. By the end of this video, you'll be able to automate this process in just a few steps. Let's dive in. Let's start with the problem we're solving. Imagine you have two dates, a start date and an end date in cell C7 and C8. You want to generate all the year-week combinations between these two dates. The conventional approach is time-consuming, especially if you're working with a large range of dates. For example, we first calculate the number of days between the start and end dates by subtracting the start date from the end date and adding 1 to include the end date in the calculation. We got a difference of 59, which means there are 59 days between the two dates. Next, we use the Excel sequence function to generate the date values between the date ranges. The calculated number of days is used as the row argument, while the start date is used as the start argument, leaving the column argument blank. This formula extracts all the date values between the start and end dates. Once the date values are extracted, we use the YEAR and WEEKNUM functions to calculate the year and week number for each date. These values are then concatenated using ampersand characters to create a combined year-week format. Afterward, we copy the formula and apply it to all rows. Since the year and week number values may be duplicated multiple times, we use the unique function to extract only the distinct year-week combinations. While this approach works, it has limitations. It is not dynamic for large date ranges, and the ranges must be manually adjusted to ensure accurate results. This makes the process time-consuming and less efficient for larger datasets or frequent updates. But don't worry. Excel has us covered with a single formula that does all the heavy lifting for us. We will use the let function. By the way, please check my previous videos to learn the basics of the let function with practical examples. But don't worry if it looks a bit complex at first. I'll break it down step by step so you can understand exactly how it works. Okay, first we're using the let function. This allows us to define variables within the formula, making it easier to read and more efficient. In this case, we're defining two variables. Variable A is the start date, which is in cell C7, and variable B is a sequence of dates starting from the start date and ending at the end date, which is in cell C8. Hence, we use the sequence function to generate a list of dates. In row argument, we calculate the number of days between the start and end dates. Leave the column argument, since we need the results in the rows. Then let Excel to start the sequence from the start date. Now that we have a list of dates, we use the combination of YEAR and WEEKNUM functions to extract the year and week number for each date, which we defined as variable B. I follow a similar approach to the one described earlier in the conventional method. To ensure we only get unique year-week combinations, we wrap this in the unique function. This is especially useful if multiple dates fall in the same week. We are almost done. But the formula returns an error value if the start date is greater than the end date. To avoid this, we use the IFERROR function to handle errors. For example, if the start date is later than the end date, the formula will display a custom error message. Start date should be earlier date. See how the formula dynamically calculates the year and week numbers? If I change the start or end date, the list updates automatically. This formula is incredibly versatile. You can use it to create weekly reports, track project timelines, or analyze data by week. It's a great way to save time and reduce errors in your workflow. And that's it. You've just learned how to generate year and week numbers between two dates in Excel using a single formula. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Excel tips and tricks. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.